this time, we ask our guests to stand and remove their hats for the playing of our national anthem. Graduates, you may leave your hats on.
You may be seated. Good evening and welcome to graduates, families, and special guests to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2026. Due to potential weather, we have modified our ceremony just a bit. With that said, it is my honor to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2026, Mr. Grant Kahinka.
Good evening, graduates. I know that some of you have been eagerly anticipating my speech for many months now, so congrats, the time has come. On a more serious note though, we all just achieved a great accomplishment. We're leaving behind something that we'll never experience again. From school dances and Relay for Life to buzzer beaters and state championships, we're all now starting a new, more independent journey. Whether you're going into the armed forces, college, or trade school, every student here is moving on to the next chapter of their life. The next chapter is often the one that determines how successful you are. And no matter what path you take, it's pretty likely that you'll want to be successful because everyone wants money. And as the Canadian poet Drake once said, "I'm trying to do better than good enough." And that's what success is all about, expecting more from yourself. Being not just okay or doing what's expected, but aiming to exceed expectations and constantly overachieve. With a mindset like that, you may make more mistakes, but you will end up more successful in the end. Drake, did I mention he happens to be a close personal friend of mine, also said that working with negatives could make for better pictures. And I know you're probably thinking, wow, that's a bar. And you're right, it is. But what Drake is saying is that each mistake you make teaches you what is necessary to succeed. No one's path to success is smooth. There's always going to be something that goes wrong. You have to adapt, overcome challenges, and overall be better. So yeah, graduation is a huge deal. We've all accomplished something that's great, but it's just the end of the first chapter of our lives. From here on out, we're all only going on journeys that become more and more independent, and we're all now trying to find our way to success. I'll leave everyone with one final quote from Drake, because just like him, we are all somewhere between I want it and I got it. Thank you and congratulations.
Each year, the senior class nominates a teacher to speak at the commencement ceremony. It is my honor to introduce the class of 2026's choice, journalism educator extraordinaire, Kathy Habiger.
Good evening, parents, family members, friends, teachers, administrators, and the class of 2026. We are all doing something for the first time tonight. You're graduating, and I'm speaking at graduation for my first time in my 30-year career. We are leaving this place we've called home and are considering what comes next. When you graduate or retire, you always get the same question. What are you gonna do now? I'll bet if you're like me, you're a little or a lot scared of what's to come. But here's the thing, you're ready. I'm ready. It's time to see what else is out there. When we consider our futures, let's seek advice from multi-platinum recording artist Noah Kahan and his chart-stopping hit, You're Gonna Go Far. It's an anthem about adults wanting a young person to leave their old life and start an adventure. The chorus of the song represents what those in your support system are feeling tonight as they consider your futures. So pack up your car, put a hand on your heart, say whatever you feel, be wherever you are. We ain't angry at you, love. You're the greatest thing we've lost, and we'll all be here forever. Everyone in your support system wants you to be wherever you are. They ain't angry about your leaving. You're the greatest thing they've lost, and no matter where you're headed, those closest to you will be here forever to support and love you. As for your futures, the last line of the song is a challenge to the young person who is starting a new adventure. If you want to go far, you gotta go far. Going far could mean literally anything, leaving the safe confines of Western Shawnee and attending college 1,000 miles away, serving our country wherever the military sends you. Going far could mean living at home for a while, working to save money for something big, even if you don't know what it is yet. Going far definitely means becoming self-sufficient, making dinner for yourself that doesn't involve DoorDash, putting your credit card on the Starbucks app instead of your mom's, cleaning your own bathroom, or just about anything your parents have been doing for you in the last 18 years. Going far means getting out of your comfort zone, and it will almost certainly result in failure of some kind along the way. And when you're face to face with that failure, remember the advice Taylor Swift gives to the future Mr. Taylor Swift in her recent hit, Opalite. She assures Travis, after his many past failures in the romance department, that failure brings you freedom. The next few years of your life will be filled with what feels like giant failures, overdrawing your checking account, failing that first college math test, not getting the job that you wanted, breaking up with a certain special someone you thought was the one. But those failures will teach you valuable lessons about life and will give you the freedom to keep trying until you get it right. The only true failure in life is just not trying. Trust in Taylor. Failure is the best teacher. As we all say goodbye to Mill Valley tonight, make it a goal to give yourself grace and accept failure as the only true path to success. All the people who are cheering for you tonight will all be here forever. I have no doubt that every member of the class of 2026 is gonna go far. And remember, we are Mill Valley.
Thank you, Ms. Habiger. We will miss you. Graduates and guests, please welcome to the podium our senior class president, Mallory Lux.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mallory Lux, and I have had the honor of serving as your senior class president for the 2025-2026 school year. Whether you're here as family, a friend, or a faculty member, I want to thank you for being here today to help celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2026. And to my classmates, we should be so proud of ourselves. We have all come so far and grown so much from when we walked into Mill Valley for the first time back in 2022. But whether we realize it or not, these past 4 years have been the foundation for everything that's about to come next in our lives. During our time at Mill Valley, we've had the privilege of getting involved in different clubs, organizations, and athletics to experiment and discover what we're truly passionate about. We've realized what we want to carry with us and what we want to leave behind as we transition into the next chapter of our lives. Everything we've learned through these experiences has shaped us into the people we are today. But a foundation isn't just one thing. It's made up of many different pieces, and each one of ours looks a little different. Maybe for some of us, it was a coach who pushed you a little harder to get you to see the growth that you couldn't see in yourself. Or a friend who stood beside you, and became like family. For others, it may be the challenges you faced during your high school career that have forced you to learn how to be okay with figuring things out as you went and kept going even when it wasn't easy or you felt alone. All of these things and so many others are part of us, and we wouldn't be where we are right now without the chaos that we've encountered and the memories that we've created along the way. Our foundations were built here at Mill Valley, but in 3 months, we'll be starting new lives with new people in new places and new experiences that will help us to become even more successful than we already are today. For the first time, we're not being given something that's already been pre-planned for us. We get the chance to build a new foundation all by ourselves. So take that opportunity and run with it. Step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to try new things you've never done before. Because it's okay to be different than the person you were in high school. That's the beauty of starting a new chapter. You get to figure out who you truly are and who you want to become without the pressure of anyone else. In a few months, we'll be offered countless opportunities to get involved in things we've never thought about before. So don't worry about what anyone thinks of you just because you might be trying something new. And don't let other people have a say in your personal success because everyone's success is going to look different. This transition into the next part of our lives is our time to create our new foundation, one that isn't based on expectations, but on choice. So be who you want to be, do what you want to do, and don't let anyone stop you from chasing after the person you've always dreamed of becoming. Thank you and congratulations. Graduates and guests, please welcome to the podium our student body president, Ms. Claire Cooper.
Good evening, graduates. Good evening, friends, family, and faculty. Thank you for being here today. As I stand before you all, I feel beyond grateful. So many experiences I've had at this school have shaped who I am indefinitely. The most important one being that even though it's possible to try and do everything alone, really acting alone has never been as fulfilling as when I accept the perspectives of others, and I have never been as strong alone as I am when I work with others. In high school, it's easy to feel pressure to do everything ourselves and to feel like we can't ask for help. The community built around Mill Valley is what makes this place so meaningful. Mill Valley connects us and has shaped who we are. High school creates an environment where expectations are high. We feel the need to stay driven to keep doing more. Even when we feel like we're doing everything to stand out, it always feels like we're leaps and bounds behind the rest. All of a sudden, high school has made everything seem so much bigger than it is. Social media also puts pressure on us to not only stretch ourselves as thin as possible, but has a unique way of making us feel all alone while also being surrounded by people. So, in this phase of our lives, these past 4 years, you may have felt like you were trying to live up to expectations that were never fully real in the first place. Personally, I've spent days in bed feeling paralyzed by the amount I felt I had on my plate. Days where I would be so caught up in trying to do everything that I would actually do nothing at all. I was taking in everything while not being able to put anything productive out. I realized how easy it is to lose yourself when you're constantly trying to keep up. At present times, it is more important than ever that we do not let external pressures divide us. All those hours I spent feeling hopeless, feeling like I needed to do everything and more alone to keep up with my peers, and I never needed to feel that way. There are always people who understand what you're going through more than we think. It's clear why we can't always see it. We're also worried about our own lives and what we alone can do. That is what makes isolation feel normal. When we assume we are the only ones falling behind, we assume we are in this by ourselves, when in reality, we were never alone to begin with. If we all carry pressure in ways that aren't visible, kindness isn't optional, but it's necessary for us to survive. And just as important as showing up for others is allowing others to show up for you. As we leave here, we're all going to face new challenges, new pressures, and new expectations. But we get to choose how we handle them. We can choose to keep trying to do everything on our own, or we can choose to lean on the people around us. So in closing, I'll leave you with this, graduates. Let the way this establishment has uplifted us help us to uplift each other. Thank you. On behalf of the class of 2026, we would like to take this opportunity to thank our Mill Valley staff for their time, expertise, patience, persistence, grace, and support over the last 4 years. We have appreciated what you have done and will be forever grateful. Please stand and allow us to thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Gibson, Board of Education members, it is my honor to announce that this year's Mill Valley High School senior class has met the graduation requirements set forth by the state of Kansas and USD 232 Board of Education. As a result, I recommend that the members of the class of 2026 be presented to the USD 232 Board of Education to receive their high school diplomas. At this time, row 1, please stand and move forward to the stage.
Abigail Aklilu Ababa. Mason Andrew Akehurst. Crew Lee Aiken. Casey Richard Alderman. Madeline Lou Alderson. Abigail James Allen. Savannah Leah Allen. Sarah Claire Aller-Heiligen. John Robert Alley III. Cadence Nicole Alston. Micah Paul Ammon. Jared Aiden Anderson Gonzalez. William Ray Andrews. Landon John Thomas Arnold. Parker Madison Acoin. Ethan James Austin. Emma Kelly Avila. Mark Ryan Acock. Adam Joel Bailey. Haley Elizabeth Baird. Brody Michael Baker. Lamarcus Jerome Barber. Lydia Ann Roslyn Barngrover. Joshua Eric Bateman. Austin Charles Beshore. Stella Kaylin Bynes. Ainsley Abigail Belt. Riley Lynn Bilek. Jessica Marie Biggs. Janiyah Nicole Bilberry. Corrine Jesse Biseco. Ryan Austin Bloomer. Jamie Lynn Boggs. Max Andrew Bolin.
Mia Rose Bilella. Liberty Ann Boschool. Samuel Michael Bowling. Bailey Michelle Bray. Emma Paige Brooks. Owen Bradford Brookshire. Harrison David Brown. Jacob Daniel Brown.
Miles Rollin Brown.
Victoria Eileen Brown. Macy Lynn Bruner. Marissa Justine Burrow. Claire Avery Burson. Stephen William Butler. Callie Denise Caldwell. Ryan Michael Canada. Emma Lee Carbajo. Jack William Carpenter. Jakai Stephen Carter. Rohe Cisse. Parker Scott Chalupnik. Zachary Hong Chang. Bayabi Antuman Chongan. Eden Grace Christian. Carter Wendell Clark. Avery Elizabeth Clement. Aubrey Rose Marie Cliff. Callaway Grace Clifton. Mackenzie Perry Clifton. Aliciana Rochelle Coates. Lila Elaine Cobb. Aiden Wayne Colborn. Beckett Tenzin Coleman. Victoria Soleil Comely.
Claire Mary Gastrock Cooper. Ethan Clay Cooper. Andrew Michael Cormany. Marcus Anthony Covey. Garrett Matthew Cox. Carter Daniel Christ. Josephine Ruth Crossley. Ethan Quinn Culver. Carson Scott Curry. Jack Ryan Daly. Zachary Miles Darr. Madison Marie David. Dominic Tate Davila. Daniel Marshall Davis. Grayson Dell Davis. Catherine Renee Davis. Malia K. Davis. Winter Grace DeHaven. Camden Paul Dick. Blake William Dirks. Riley Elizabeth Dolan. Kate Andres Vonikov. John Randall Dold. Lola Faith Dumler. Cole Patrick Eklund. Ava Kaylin Kavi Edwards. Devin Charles Edwards. Elliot Harrison Edwards. Riley Daniel Elam. Aiden Clark Emerson. Tatum Riley Inslinger. Sydney Paige Epperson. Brandon Devance Estes. Jason David Evans.
Dylan Michael Everhart. Carly Christine Firing. Lauren Sydney Fenimore. Lily Mary Feuerborn. Cannon Charles Fields. Max Truth Vieira. Elliot Rodney Fisher. Alicia Rose Fisher. Aaliyah Rika Fisher. Michael Lance Fitzpatrick. Ella K. Flores. Carson Lee Flowers. Bryn Catherine Foltz. Kaylin Marie Foster. Baron Bartlett Lee Fox. Maya Justine Franco. Jackson Charles Garcia. Kendall Christina Geis. Lillian Faye Gibson. Ryan Thomas Gleason. Gus A.C. Getch. Elizabetta Goy. Layla Rose Gonzalez. Taylor May Goodwin. Abbas Gooley. Jackson Dylan Gorbett. Benjamin Isaiah Gosh. Allison Ray Graber. Samuel Benjamin Grenz. Sophia Wen Greco. Evie Madeline Grover. Harrison Paul Guest. Marshall Shair Habib. Samuel Zane Heist.
Abigail Elizabeth Haney. Stella Demetra Harriman. Austin James Harvell. Caleb Mason Hayes. Andrew Francis Heidemann. Hayden Matthew Heller. Gabriel Michael Hemberger. Gage Connor Heinrich. Ian Charles Hernandez. Ava Mariela Hernandez. Fabian Michael Hernandez. Brody Michael Hicks. Alexa Johanna Hawker. Grace Helen Holland. Eva Grace Hood. Caitlin Grace Hood. Thomas Roger Hopkins. Hayden Everett Horn. Benjamin Lee Hodek. Scott Lee Houghton. Gavin Allen Hurt. Lucas Anthony Eisenberg. Chase Kenneth Jackson. Blake Alexander J. Chase Patrick Johnson. David Anthony Johnson. Jaden Donley Johnson. Phoenix Matthew Johnson. Rachel Kathleen Johnston. Danica Rochelle Jones. Ella Marie Jones. Tristan Adrienne Jones. Rachel Ruma Joseph. Griffin Russell Jed. Ella Nicole Kamer. Ella Nicole Kemmer, there it is. Prabjot Carr. Ashlyn Grace Kine. Jack Lee Kelly. I can read the rest of my speech. Hayden Leaf Von Kilo. Alexander Stark Kemker. McKinley Faye Ruth Kindle. Noah Elam Kim. Nadia Alexandra Kent. Carrington Maxwell King. Kian Gray Kinney. Gwen Diane Klein. Leah Rose Conan. Gavin Edward Kosmala. Aiden Graham Costas. Christopher Henry Lee Kraus. Alexander Bennett Kirks.
Margaret Keller Cricks. Brinley Dale Christensen. Jacob Don Krosky. Abigail Lynn Kropa. Graham Joseph Kruger. Grant Peyton Kahinka. Briggs Taylor Lamborn. Tyler Michael Lanningham. Caitlin Estella Ledesma. Emma Rachel Lee. Rachel Joe Lee. Sydney Elizabeth Lennon. Evan Riley Leroy. Jenna Elizabeth Lloyd. Amelia Gwen Locke. Divani Giovanna Lopez. Mariana Quintana Loya. Ava Grace Lucht. Jackson Andrew Lucht. Mallory Kate Lux. Jackson William Macheers. Adam Michael Mack. Doreen Wamboy Mahugu. Addison Elizabeth Mayer. Andrew Garrett Majerus. Christian Augustus Malone. Jagnor Singh Mann. Oh, I caught it. Beckham Urban Marlowe. Madeline Grace Martin. Jackson Preston Massick. Colin Everett McAfee. Avery Estelle McCormick. Samantha Jolie McCoy. Isabella Lynn McPeak.
Alexander John McReynolds. Ava Grace Mendez. Dalton Thomas Mize. Aiden Isaiah Mosley. Dylan Michael Mothersbaugh. Lillian Elizabeth Mott. Hank John Gary Moulin. Madeline Nicole Mulryan. Abigail Jane Mussel. Sydney Elizabeth Nash. Brandon Mark Nice. Annabelle Grace Newell. Tommy Lee Wien. Quentin Levi Nielsen. Jaredy Lee Nilgis. Palmer Bradley Norman. Olivia Rose Zioki. Grayson Oliver O'Brien. McLaren Ryan Olson. Mallory Ray Olson. Kaylin Ortega. Sergio Alejandro Palacios Jr. Madeline Jo Perizic. Jocelyn Maria Paulson. Bianca Marissa Maria Lee Pepe. Liam Alessandre Perez. Layla Simone Perry. Quinlan Taylor Peters. Bo David Peterson. Cadence Lita Peterson. Gavin Crawford Peterson. Nathaniel Theodore Petrowski. Nicholas Quinn Philhauer Jr. Cameron Jacob Plod.
Mia Kaylin Plumberg. Avon Montez Pollard. Prachi Puni Richard. Jordan Elizabeth Powell. Sage Kennedy Pretz. Landon Michael Price. Miles Hanson Raven. Truman Alexander Raven. Reginald Levon Reese. Tariq Darnell Lewis Reed. Jacob Warren Wrights. Nicholas Wade Wrights. Braden Michael Rep. Ryder Freeborn Rue. Andy Malin Ray Reynolds. Peyton Reese Reynolds. Robert Maxwell Reynolds. Jamie Lynn Ricker. Lillian Ann Lynn Rickett. Reese Anthony Riedel. Parker John Riffle. Ana Sofia Rios. Katerina Julia Rivas. Madison Kimberly Roberts. Connor Willis Roque. Finley V. Rose. Piper Ruby Ross. Paige Elizabeth Roth. Hayden Caplimo Rodich. Kinley Rose Reuter. Joseph Elijah Salazar. Maya Renee Sanders. Haley Marie Scheffler. William Patrick Schieber. Jordan Eli Shearbaum. Carson David Schmidtline. Dylan Carr Schmidtman. Corinne Juliet Schwind. Jenner Jason Scobie. Zoe Gwyneth Suter. Brooke Danielle Seymour. Savannah Scott Seymour. Samuel Michael Shepard. Violet Sorrow Shields. Caitlin Nicole Schinkel. Bryce Hayden Shorten. Isabel Rose Sims. Callie Maxine Smouse. Gabriel Gary Sommerfeld. Pia Sood. Tanav Sood.
Charles Michael Spalding. Kylie Claire Stegner. Hannah Felicity Stevenson. Landon James Stockwell.
Anderson Michael Strack.
Belena Marie Strothman. Sienna Gail Suderman. Lillian Ellen Suman. Austin Joseph Sutton. Brinley Lene Sword. Jason Russell Tarimo. Reagan Deborah Thate. Jack Nicholas Thomas. Riley Jean Thomas. Evangeline Elizabeth Tyndall. Caitlin Michelle Tracy. Nathan Paul Turvey. Jeanette Estrella Rito Rojero. Sophie Ann Van Inwegen. Mila Rose Vanderhorn. Lillian Claire Verbenek. Landon Allen Vincent. Madeline Ein Tonu Ven. Benjamin Luke Wallace. Ethan Patrick Walter. Samuel James Weatherford. Ian Joseph Weatherman. Jonathan Paul Weaver. Elena Grace Weiss. Josephine Joanne Whitsett. Dylan Scott Whittington. Aubrey Ellen Williams. Kevion Marquise Williams. Pete Carson Williams. Brody Paul Williamson. Gavin Liam Wilson. Grady Nikolai Wilson. Lainey Marie Wood. Keegan Michael Wooten. Drew Carter Yaki. Addison Michaela York. Nathaniel Craig Young. Baron Christopher Zigmund. Chancellor Robert Zigmund.
Class of 2026, please stand at this time.
Turn your tassel and toss those caps. We are officially graduated from Mill Valley High School.
Please recess to the soccer field at this time. Recessional to the soccer field. Thank you.